how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Going to do a video about a recap on this load I just finished up. I haven't been doing load recaps. I've been real busy. I've been doing just weekly recaps. So I want to break down this load for you while I got time. Maybe it'll help somebody out. If you could, hit that like. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Do all that fun stuff for me. And I appreciate it. So let's talk about this load. Pretty simple load, a little weekend run. I picked this up Friday at 2 p.m. was my appointment time. Delivered this morning at 7 o'clock. Had a delivery appointment. Pretty good load. Out of Minnesota, I had about a 74-mile deadhead to go get this load. And this load brought me to upstate New York. I'm in the between Buffalo and Rochester area. So I dig it. I don't get up this way much. I had to put my hut sticker on for this load. I've had that hut sticker for, I don't know, quite a while now. So but yeah, I got a call about this load. Apparently they got an email with a bunch of loads on it coming out of this place, and I don't know, they gave most of them away by the time they got down the list to me, and they had 2 left, one going up here to upstate New York, one going to Philadelphia. And I told them I wasn't really interested in either one, because I said I'm gonna get eat alive on tolls. So you know, they kind of said, well, we'll bump the price up enough to pay for the tolls out of our part. So I said, by all means, if you're gonna pay the tolls, I'll run it, because it was already paying good. So you know, sometimes you got to run them even when you don't want to run them, I guess. You know, financially you got to. I shouldn't say you got to, because you ain't got to, but financially, when it's paying this good, you know, I always say, you know, eat when dinner's on the table, you know, because it may not be there you know, down the road. So so yeah, grab this load up in Minnesota, north of Minneapolis. Like I said, it came over here to upstate New York. The total load was, well, I'll break it down for you. It was 1,072 loaded miles on that. 1,072 loaded miles. 74 deadhead, like I said. 1,146 total miles on this load. This load paid $3,600, so it was a good paying load. You know, it started out a little lower, but it got bumped up because of the tolls. And you know, I use any kind of negotiating power I have, and tolls is one of those things that it's one of the few things you got to use to your advantage. You know, if you know the tolls and you know the states and how much they cost to go across each state. I ain't saying you got to know them all by heart, but, you know your major ones. You can throw that in. You know, I didn't realize this was going to be almost $200 in tolls, but I knew I was going to be well over 100 because just because of going through, you know, Chicago and Indiana and Ohio. Right there alone's like 150 bucks. I did go through Chicago. Normally I drop down 39 and go across 80. But there's a Love's in Hampshire, Illinois now, and it actually makes it about the same price if I need fuel. And I needed fuel. If I need like 100 gallons of fuel, I can save enough at that Love's right there to justify taking the toll road through. Because, you know, by the time you factor in the 40 miles to go around and the extra time and all of that, and having to pay more for fuel. You know, if I go around, I got to pay more for fuel. So it saves me quite a bit. It saves me like 23 cents a gallon going the toll road. So my thought is, if I need 100 gallons, it kind of washes itself out. This time, I needed more than that. I bought fuel twice on this run. First time I bought fuel, I stopped in Wisconsin and just threw on 12 gallons because I didn't know if I was going to make it to Hampshire or not. I did not want to run out of fuel. So I stopped. I was going to stay at this truck stop for the night anyway, so I just pulled up. I threw in $25 worth of fuel. It was like, you know, $2 a gallon. I threw in 25 bucks just to make sure I got to Hampshire. And in case I needed to idle some that night, you know, I didn't need to idle. It was a nice, cool night. I've got lucky every night. It's been cool on this run. I have not idled a lot on this run, maybe an hour or two tops. So yeah, threw in $25 worth of fuel there. Then I got to Hampshire and I put in 195 gallons in Hampshire. And you know, if I'm saving 23 cents a gallon on 200, that's like $46 saved. So the way I looked at it is that fuel savings paid for me to ride through Chicago on the toll roads. That's kind of how I factor it in. So yeah, let's break down the numbers. $3,600 to the carrier for this load. That's $3.14 a mile. Let's see, that's $28.80 to the truck. That's $2.51 a mile to the truck. It's pretty good paying stuff. I spent $4.46 on diesel, so quite a bit on diesel, but I did not use near that much. I've actually gotten really good fuel economy. I'll talk about that in a second on this run. So I spent $28 on reefer fuel. I did not use any reefer fuel. This is a dry load. It's 42,500 pounds. It's a dry load, and you know, so it runs no reefer. But I filled up the reefer tank because I already got a load booked coming out of this area that will need reefer fuel, and I don't want to buy reefer fuel. You know, I bought it where it was cheaper, so went ahead and paid for it on this load. $28 in reefer fuel, $17 in DEF on this load, $12 on one cat scale, and $184. $184 on toll roads. I hate paying for toll roads. I find the Indiana toll road across 80 to be insulting. It's overpriced. It's rough. I swear to God, it's like if you close your eyes, if you were riding passenger, you know, you could close your eyes and imagine you were in Baghdad, I think. I don't understand how a road can be so expensive and so rough at the same time. For what they're charging, that thing ought to be paved. It ought to be a platinum road with, you know, the lines in gold and diamonds, you know. It's crazy across there. So with the tolls, the reefer, the DEF, the scale, all together, $687 in variable cost. If you take that away from the $28.80, the load paid to the truck, that brings us in at $2,193 after variable cost. Very good weekend run. Picks up Friday afternoon, delivers Monday morning. That's how I like them, nice and tight like that. Very casual running on this. I did not run hard at all. You know, it picked up Friday afternoon, it delivered Monday morning, and it was 1,072 loaded miles. I mean, I've been doing like 7 hours a day at like 62 miles an hour, and I'll get to that right now. The fuel economy on this load was terrific. I ran this load at 62 miles an hour pretty much the whole way. So, you know, I was getting passed by everybody. You know, CR England was passing me. The only people that weren't passing me was TMC and Prime, and I was like neck and neck with them, so I just stayed behind them. 8.6 miles per gallon on this run. You know, like I said, the fuel economy was terrific. I had a tailwind most of the day. Friday afternoon, I actually ran the load farther than I was going to run it just because of the tailwind. I said, hey, you know, I've got like a 15 mile an hour tailwind. I'm going to drive while I can. I got hours. You know, there's nothing stopping me. So I drove probably like an extra 2 or 3 hours. I got up the next day. I still had a tailwind, but not as good. You know, there's really no hills across, you know, Wisconsin's got a few hills, but they're not going to break the bank. You know, a little stop and go in Chicago. The rest of it was toll roads, you know, flat ground. So, yeah, 8.6 miles per gallon at 62 miles an hour. 62 mile an hour puts me in at about 1,300 RPMs, maybe 1,325 on my RPMs. The truck just loves it. It just eats that all day. All day. It wants that. So 8.6 miles per gallon on a 42,500 pound load. I'm loving it. And the 8.6 is from when I filled up in Hampshire to here. So before that, my fuel mileage was at 8.25 from the previous trip, but it was going up before I got to Hampshire. So I'd say probably 8.6 for the whole trip across the board would be a legitimate, you know, I didn't reset it when I started deadheading, but if you factor in, you know, 74 miles of deadhead, I was probably killing it on that. And then, you know, if it was at 8.25 and it was going up, you know, we know it's pretty good. So, you know, that last 630 miles or whatever it is, I'll put it up here on the screen. Whatever that last part was terrific. You know, 8.6 is what I have on the dash right now as far as this tank of fuel since I reset it. So really good load. I would say of the 446 I spent on diesel on this load, I probably realistically used about 250 because I was on about a quarter of a tank when I started this load, and I'm on about 2/3 of a tank right now. So I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, pencil that out to the penny. Ballpark, probably used about $250 worth of fuel, which is really good. Let's see, I bought, like I said, that first 12 gallons I bought was $2 a gallon, $1.99 in Wisconsin. And then when I stopped in Hampshire with discount, I was getting that for $2.15 a gallon. So, yeah, I mean, that would put me in at probably like, 120 gallons used. That sounds about right. That sounds about right for 1146 on the miles. So that's where we're at. Really good weekend run. Paid good. Good fuel economy. Kind of a boring, smooth trip, just like I like them. Short days. Stopped and took long naps every afternoon. You know what I mean? Like a true my kind of trip. You know, no rush. Stop, take some naps. Drive 62 miles an hour, no rush, let everybody pass me, and just sit back and make money. And that's what I did. So anyway, guys, that is it. That is the recap for this load. I appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, if you could, hit the like button if you find it valuable, the information valuable. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Ring the bell, and you'll get notified. You know the deal. Share it out. If you know somebody wants to be an owner-operator, let them know. You know, this is just one avenue of information. And until next time, guys, take care of each other out there. Later.